All right, we are live. Greetings, fellow traders. Let me just tweet it out so everybody can join in here. One second. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. Awesome, awesome. And what a day today! So choppy day in the on the SPY, but strong on the Nasdaq today, on the Qs today. So pretty amazing day. We'll take a look at a couple of interesting things there. And today we're going to be talking about timing entries, and today we're going to be talking about using moving averages. Okay, so pretty cool stuff. Before we get started, though, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to check and see where we left off in the market today. Then we're going to take a look at the futures and see where we're at this evening and what we might have in store going into tomorrow. And then we're going to go over the topic, and then we'll take questions and chart requests. So good stuff. So let's get started here. Here's the SPX monthly chart. So brand new month, guys. Happy July. Happy July 1st. June finished off. What a month in June, too. We actually had a great month in June, but it was a complex candle on the monthly chart. Ended up finishing green, ended up closing over the prior month's high, so that's good. And green spinning top right here. So one more trading day this week as we go into the holiday weekend, right? So the market is closed on Friday. So for the in commemoration of the 4th of July holiday. So we've got that coming up here. So no live stream tomorrow night, guys, by the way. So only on market night. So we are tonight's the last of this series here this week. So anyway, good stuff. So just keep that in mind. So tomorrow being a day before a holiday, a lot of times a lot of traders aren't going on vacation. Of course, who's going on vacation these days? But anyway, but usually that's what the case is, and usually we see a low volume day. But we had a interesting day today. Anyway, we'll get to it in a second. So, weekly chart, right? We failed to break down below the inside week low. They kind of dropped down a little bit and came back in. We held the 30-weekly moving average so far. So we'll see what we have in store for tomorrow and how they decide to finish the week. We're going to be reviewing it in our newsletter this weekend. And, if you guys are part of that, you get to check that out. So it's really good stuff. So here we are there on the weekly chart. Daily chart. Okay, so pretty interesting stuff, right? So we've had an amazing, V reversal right here. And some people that aren't calling it a V reversal. It's give me a break. It's a V right here. So, the Qs did a little bit more, which we should probably look at in a little bit here too. But a really impressive move so far, right? And we've pushed down below the upper trend line, which forms your trend box, right? So to get out of this trend box, officially we need to get above this high right here, which would be great if we could fill this gap, get out of this island reversal top, and kind of go from there. One of the cool things that we did today, though, is we filled the gap right here. So of this bearish gap move down. So it's kind of like mission accomplished here today, at least on the short term. And we can see where we go from there. But three white soldiers right here on the upside. So let's see if we can continue to get some follow through on that one going into tomorrow, into the holiday weekend, and then we'll see where we go from there if we can get this one. It'd be actually really cool if we had an awesome like one of these days tomorrow. But we'll see how that goes. You never know. Anyway, good stuff. Let's take a look at the price action here intraday. So let's see, 15 minutes. There we go. So choppy day on the SPX, right? We were pretty much contained mostly by the 15-order range, guys. It was a tough trading day on the SPY. We micro scalp type stuff today. We did one. We tried to get a 15-order breakout right here. There was some nice strength. I showed you a tweet on that one earlier. We had a nice inside 5 right here to try to get out of the 15 order. But is quite a recovery here. It was looking like a good pause candle, so we made a little bit of money on that one, and then that was about it on that one today. So we did some other good trades at the open, of course. The live streams at the open are always the funnest, but intraday, you got to deal with the chop and do what you got to deal with. But if we take a look real quick here, I'm just going to jump here on the Qs, and you can just see a big difference here between the two markets today. Now, normally these two go hand in hand, but they just did not today, right? The Qs were just, monstrous, right? Just these big pullbacks right here today, or these nice pullbacks here to the 8 EMA. Right, they kept on getting moves to the upside all day today. So and it had to do with strength. Netflix, Amazon, Roku, Facebook, all the big go-to list names were super duper strong today when the overall S&P was weak, which is pretty interesting. So that really brought the Nasdaq up today. But in the meantime, these are the levels that we provide to our members before each market opens, so you can see how important these play out right here. So you can see, let's go to July. And so here we go. So nice levels right here. Again, really, really tight ranges today. It made it very complex. We were looking for a nice breakout to try to get to this next level right here. So that just didn't get any more strength on that one. It's okay. It eventually did it later in the day, and then we got a drop at the end of the day. The MOC was actually on the buy, but it was such a low volume. I think they just decided to short it at the end of it. So that's where we finished with that one. Good. So let's take a look and take a look at the futures here tonight on the S&P and see what we have in store for tomorrow. So we've drifted down a little bit. We're down about a point here. It's kind of blah. I mean, not really, not really much going on, right? We ended up flushing a little bit at the close. So we came up to a couple of our key signal zones right here. So big resistance right here at the end of the day. And we got a nice drop off of that. So really, really cool stuff. We bounced off of this. They took a lot of the meat off the bone this morning, right? They had, a couple economic numbers. I mean, nothing really stellar, but we bounced off a couple of our zones here and this amazing trend line right here, right? So we drew this last night on the live stream, and it was just beautiful, right? We just came back, tagged it, and bounced. And then they basically took all the meat, and then they gave us chop for the rest of the day. I can't stand when they do that, right? When they take it away from our option activity during the day, but it's okay. So tonight, let's take a look and see what we have in store for tomorrow. Let's expand this trend line out and see if that holds again going into tomorrow. Of course, you could look at this. It really is like a channel going up here. So there's going to be some key stuff going into tomorrow. So let's see if that holds. Right now, we're just kind of chopping around. There's really not much. I mean, we could do a couple things just to look on the micro level to see, we got a little bit of a move right here. Here, so we can kind of look at this, a bit of a triangle type thing. I mean, this is really, really tight. So, but we can look at this line right here. If we break down below this one, we might test this and then see where we go from there. So a couple levels above, it'd be cool if we can get over this 3120. But hopefully they leave us a little bit of room and then do what we were saying, just launch it tomorrow, so we can all just have a great, awesome up day. So that'd be pretty cool. Anyway, we'll see what they have in store. So good stuff. So tonight we're going to be continuing our conversation on timing entries, and we're going to be talking about moving averages. So timing entries using moving averages, right? So what do we mean by that? So moving averages are interesting, right? So they lag price, right? There's two different types that they're out there, for the most part. There's actually several different types, but two general ones that we look at. We look at simple moving averages. We look at exponential moving averages. My favorite to use are other than like the 50 and the 200 on the daily. Right, so if you go to the daily chart, like you guys know, like I've got the 50s right here is the red one, the 200 is the pinkish one right here, and so those are simple moving averages. The reason I keep those on the daily chart is because they're so popular and so widely used by traders and algorithms alike, and so they're good levels, good lines in the sand to kind of keep an eye on to see what the big money's up to. Other than that, I like to use exponential moving averages. They give they're a little more sensitive to price. Right, so they move a little bit more at the price. Right, they're an exponential calculation of the prior price. Now, remember, moving averages are not price. Right, they just are a historical level of price. So whatever the last 8 candles, whatever the last 8 price levels are averaged out, and then you get your moving average. Right, so that's the idea of it. Okay, so but they can help. Right, they can give you guidance. They can tell you kind of where you are. And they can also give you clues into the general strength or weakness of the price action itself. It is cool. It's fun to trade just candles and price action, but sometimes it helps to have a little bit of an indicator on the side to help gauge entries. And what we found is that a lot of times these moving averages really just kind of hold really well, and traders like to use it. I always like to use it, and so it really helps. Right. So when we're trending, right, we really like to see a rising ADMA. So this here is your 8 exponential moving average, the 8 period. And so you can see here just on the daily chart, right, when we were working our way up before the before Fed day, right, we held the 8 moving average really nicely, right? So just nice trending day, and then it started to break down, and then we started to get in the chop zone. We got broke the trend box, and now we're just kind of chopping around a little bit. But it is starting to try to work its way back up. So maybe that moving average start working its way up, and then it'll give us a fresh trend to the upside. This is effective on most time frames. So right now it's on the daily. Right, so right now it's on the daily, and one of the ones we like to use particularly for day trading is the 15-minute chart. It's a very helpful. It's a great trend. This gives you just so much perspective on the intraday. So if you go to the SPY here, right, it really tells you a lot about what's going on, whether you're trending or not. Right, so today was not a trend day. Right, there was just a lot of choppy action. Moving averages themselves didn't show any real trend on it. We broke down below the moving average. It's just really, really sloppy, right? But some days we do get trend days, right? So this is one of the things we like. So here we had a trend morning, right? You can see how it held nicely, nice inside 15 at the ADMA, and continued to work its way up until it broke down, until we lost the ADMA, and then you can tell we got choppy there, and then eventually got back on it inside 15 up, and then kind of rode it up. Right, so that's one of the things we like to look at. So how do we gauge entries off of that? So there's a lot of different tools we like to use, a lot of different setups we like to use. Not many, but I mean there are some key ones that we like to use. And one is that we like to see these pullbacks to the 80 MA. I personally love an inside 15 that tags the 80 MA, and then we get a bounce off of that. And that's a real nice one to do. So how do you get in there, right? Do you jump in, right? Well, one of the ways we looked at it, right, this earlier, one of the first ones we looked at is going to the lower term time frame and looking for a candle entry that triggers your move over the 15-minute candle, or whatever the case is. So that is really helpful. So, but one of the other things we like to look at too is we could also use moving averages, right, to trigger those entries. So, so if we go back a little bit here, let's go back 10 days here on the SPY, and let's go back. I think it was like the 22nd was a real nice day that really kind of held the 80 MA up. Was it this one here, the 22nd? Yeah. So this one kind of gave a pullback right here. Actually, give me 1 second. Make sure I had the right day here. Yeah, so I mean, we generally had a pretty good up move that day. I mean, even here yesterday, it was pretty decent on this up move. So one thing you could do, either way, the key is that when we find a trending day and we're holding the 80 MA, we pull back to it, right, and then we trigger back above it. It's a good way to try to look for entries, right? So that's one of the things that we can do here. And so just take a look here. So we pulled back. I really don't particularly like that. Now let's just go back to yesterday. Right, so we had a nice inside 15 here and a pullback generally pretty close to 80 MA. So before getting in here, one of the things that we can do is, I remember what it was. Okay, sorry guys. Yeah, this was the this is a key entry. So it wasn't the 80 MA here that triggered the entry. This was a Fibonacci move. Now I remember what I was going to talk about here. So so one of the cool things about this, right, is this pullback. Why was this pullback buyable? Well, you don't know, right? We really don't know. But one of the things we can do is we could use our Fibonacci's, and we can use our symmetry levels and things like that. And so what I really liked about this pullback this day is that we were generally pretty strong on the day, right? There was a lot of relative strength at the open, and there was, things were pretty decent, and things were kind of trending up right here. So this pullback, why was did this pullback become viable, right? Well, we pulled back to almost precisely on this move up to the 618 moving average, the 0.618, the 61.8% Fibonacci, right? So we pulled back there. And so how do you get in on that, right? Do you just buy it at the low? You can, right? And it's actually a pretty low risk, high reward potential on it. But to gauge the entries on it, one thing we can do is we can go to the lower term time frame and use our moving averages for a potential entry, right? So let's go. I'm going to go to the 2-minute chart. Okay, I'm going to go back 10 days. I'm going to go to the 2-minute chart. And this is really cool. There's a cool moving average combination I think you guys might like. This one is the if we go exponential. Okay, I'm going to put two moving averages on here. I'm going to put the 5, which is a Fibonacci number, and I'm going to put the 13, another Fibonacci number on this one. So this is used by traders, and it's a good one. So I'm going to make the 5. It's the traditional blue I use for the first one, and then I'll make the second one green. Okay, so when you combine two moving averages, it can really help with entries. So if we go back to the 22nd there, and we look at the that Fibonacci pullback, I'll show you how we could have gotten in on that using these moving averages. So really cool stuff, right? So if you don't want to just buy that 0.618, what we could do is we could wait, right, until the 5 crosses back over to show that the bounce is going to be real, right? We could wait till the 5 crosses over the 13, right, which happened to do it at the 0.382. And then look to buy an entry off of a strong candle, and then try to ride it as long as we can while the 5 is greater, while it stays greater than the 13. Okay, so really cool stuff right here. So here's your crossover right here. It happened to correspond with basically a doji sandwich intraday, a measured move, right? So the entry could be anywhere. It could be off of the measured move area right here, or it could be in on this candle that had increased volume, right? So it definitely showed that this bounce was legit. It was strong, and you had your crossover right here. So an entry right here off of this candle, right, ends up getting you in right here, right? So what do you do? Where do you put your stop? Well, I mean, you could put it at the low of the day, but that's a pretty big stop. Another thing you can do is look to kind of the setup that occurred on the candles right here. You had your rally-based rally, right? Your measured move up. Is you put the stop at the bottom of that measured move, right here, or even just below these guys, those tweezer bottoms right there. So this kind of gives you a risk zone right here after the moving average crossover. And the beauty of this, that even this pullback right here, still held, right? So this did not end up giving a crossover below the 5 never crossed over the 13 on that one. So pretty cool stuff on that. So, and then you can just ride it, right? So just stay in the trade while this continues to stay above it. Now, sometimes we've talked about moving averages in the past, but sometimes these moving averages will fake you out, right? So this will, like for instance here, it may look like the 5 is crossing over the 8, but it hasn't quite done it yet. You got to wait till the candle is officially closed and see what they do. So it gets really, really tight in here, but generally it's still profitable, right? So there's only one time where you maybe got a little bit red on this trade, and then it came up, so you're a bit profitable right here. You're still over this entry. It got right here, and then it finally gave a nice push, right? So the whole idea is, why do we buy this? Well, there was general strength on the day. As I recall, the internals were strong on this one too, and it was given a nice move up. So that 0.618 was viable, right? So there was a lot of strength. There was relative strength at the open, right? So it was just a pullback. It was just a 0.618 pullback. Remember, that's the context of the trade. We don't want to trade straight off of Fibonacci's, or I'm sorry, off of or of any indicator, right? And but we can use them for guidance, and we can use them to help guide our entries and exits. And so the real move, right, was the strength and then the pullback, right? This is only, because if you do Elliott wave, stuff like that, this is just your first pullback. So that's really like your wave 2 pullback. And then you'd expect, after a wave 2, you'd expect a nice wave 3. And that's really ends up what we ended up getting right here. So you can see the 5 stayed over the 13, right? You could stay in that trade right there. So really nicely. So good. So that is one technique to use moving averages. And if we go back to just one more, if we go to Roku today, okay, because as we noticed, there was a lot of strength in the Qs today, and a lot of these were just strong. So a couple things that we liked about Roku. Why did we think that this would go? Well, we didn't really. At the open, we liked it long for a little bit until we got the 200-day, and then we kind of took our eyes off of it, or at least I did, and moved on, right? Because it looked like it was going to be potential resistance. It was kind of slowing down there, and then it just kept on going. The Piton news came out, but a couple things we did like is the momentum off of the inside day up, right, and then a break over the cloud. Right, and then once it got over the 200-day, right, things really get moving right there. That was about at that 122 level. So if you go back to the 15-minute chart, right, so this is kind of cool, right? So that 122 level, the 200-day moving average on your daily chart is about like right in this area, right where this is where we slowed down, but right where we got an inside 15, right, and then it ended up going. So it seems like, hey, this move is, kind of calming down here and all that stuff, but really it kept going, right? So if you go back here between the 11:30, right, to 11:45 time frame, you can look to that lower entry and try to use those moving averages to your advantage to try to get in there, right, to see if there's a move. And so one of the things that you notice is between that 11:30, 11:05 area, look what happened. So we didn't get a crossover, right? We already crossed over earlier, right? But what I really love, what sometimes is really great on these moving averages that fail to cross. I see it gets all tight in here, right? This is part of that inside 15 pullback. Right, so this was just really, really nice right here. And when it gets really, really tight, this is just a pullback. And so what you like to do is look for an opportunity where you get a strong candle after that scrunch, right before it goes again. There we got scrunch right there, and it goes in, right. And then here it actually crossed over, and this is a good exit area. But here it kind of scrunched right here, and then it goes. So you get this kind of this scrunch type move here, and it actually crossed over a little bit. But you get this nice. But this was the area right here, the 11:30 to 11:45. So you get a nice breakout candle out of here. You got 1, 2 candles right here, and then this third one right here, even better, right? Increased volume. So even if you entered here, right, that's a good entry. And where do you want to put your stop? You just put it right here. So there's your risk, right? And then from there you can just ride the moving averages, right? So it just kind of held right here. This is just a really, really tight one. It just didn't quite break down on that one. Just kind of scrunched in there and kept going. Scrunched again, kept going, and then it wasn't until here we got this breakdown confirmation, right? So I mean, here I would have been out anywhere in this area right here. So but that's a pretty good trade, right? So if you look at it, let's say you get out here, right? Your general range, right? You got here the length of this candle right here is 1.02 points. Right, and you go here, you go up to this level right here to 4.7 points. So it's over a 1.4 risk reward on that trade, and it works out really, really nicely. So anyway, good stuff. That's a great way to use moving averages to time entries, and I hope you guys find that helpful. And at this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to play those in the chat window. We'll get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So good stuff. All right, so let's let me just get these charts cleaned up right here. Good. All right, daily chart is up. We are ready. So Dylan sent a few in via Twitter. So let's take a look at those right here. So we've got net. Okay, this is one we've been looking at a couple days here. So looking good in the neighborhood. we had basically a bull flag right here. The pullback here was pretty remarkable, right? So we had one pullback to the 80 MA right here, got a bounce. We had another one right here the other day that really ended up hanging on there, and then it just has slowly climbed its way up, and we're starting to get out of this bull flag right here. We have a little bit of low volume right here, is what it is. But one of the things I like about this candle, this pullback candle right here, is look at the low volume right there. It's beautiful. And then, so it's kind of, working its way up here and holding trend. So nice on net. See if that's going to fall through the upside. ABT. Guys, this is such a tough one to trade. It's not, just such a tough one. There we go. There's the levels right here. So we're right at this level. It hasn't quite broke out of the cloud yet, but it's one, to still keep an eye on to see if, gets any, activity or something interesting on it. So give me 1 second here. Let me get a couple of these up here real quick. Okay, good. All right. So good stuff. All right. Then TRUP. Let's take a look. Yeah, True Panning. Okay, nice one here. We're still holding trend, looking pretty good. Nice fresh line right here. Nice inside day up. Good volume today. Just very, very strong. So, it's not quite at all-time high, so watch a little bit of resistance right here, right? So, but if we can get through that, we'll look for more strength, right? Might get some consolidation type stuff over that level, but nice hold right here. See if we can push above those highs and get to all-time highs on that one. TNDM, yeah, beautiful breakout candle today. Decent pause day today, so let's see if we can push above there and then give another movement up on that one. And then VVNT, there it is. VVNT, this thing was so super awesome and bullish, and then we're like, oh yeah, this thing's going, and then low volume candle right here on this final push here into the upper end of the red cloud, and then a nasty pullback right here, and so now we're just kind of consolidating in this range right here. So let's see if we can get out of there, get out of the cloud. Watch this big cloud cliff too. Could be scary. Anyway, good stuff. Osiris sent one in also by Twitter, so we got Charter Communications. So Doji candle yesterday, nice candle today, low volume. Running into some prior resistance areas right here, so just be careful with that one. But I like how it's trying to get out of the cloud, so let's see if we can get a volume move on that one. Okay, good stuff. Shirley sent in a few via email, so let's take a look at those. Some really good ones, some really amazing and strong ones, right? So Amazon. Guys, Amazon all-time highs. What pandemic? This thing's just, all-time highs. It's almost 3,000. It's getting there, right? Huge candle today, broke out to all-time highs. Again, very, very similar stuff, right? If you go here on the daily chart, we get these nice pullbacks to our trend lines, nice pullbacks to 80 MA, low volume too, low volume pullbacks as well, right? And then you can even go to your lower term time frames with your 30-minute chart, and also look for entries using your moving average on those, right, to enter into the swing trade. But a nice move off of that, good volume on that. Let's see if we get any follow through on that, or if we get a pause day. Should be interesting. Tomorrow's the last trading day of the week. We might have a low volume day, so we might see a lot of pause days tomorrow. But like I said, they can do whatever they want to with it. But it should be interesting to see how it goes, and then we've got a 3-day weekend, and then what they've got in store for the following week. So just be careful with it over the weekend. But other than that, nice, great, incredible move on this one today. So bullish till proven otherwise. And then we've got Shop. Guys, Shop is like, it's almost as much as Tesla, right? Just an incredible move today, beautiful candle, and complete Marbosa candle on this one. So just look and see if it gets any more upside on it going into tomorrow. Just incredible stuff. Etsy's been really strong too. We loved this candle about a week ago. There you go, there's the level right there. So beautiful breakout candle, huge volume, pause day, moved its way up. Then we got this horizontal flag, and we're just continue to work its way up on there. Now just be careful here. This one hit all-time highs on lower volumes. Just be careful on that one. TTD. Yeah, nice breakout right there as well. Big volume. Again, all these names just help that NASDAQ just be super strong today. Really amazing stuff. SPLK. Again, software pretty decent today. We saw some good names on this one. Again, beautiful, beautiful move here. Here's your the last trend line we had on Splunk, and there it goes. So still holding trend and working its way up. I like it. Good stuff, Shirley. Mike, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're doing well. Let's take a look at Google. Yeah, it finally got out of this huge mother bar right here, right? But it's still below the upward trend line. It's still in the trend box right here. This thing is just so frustrating, right? It's got to get above this line to kind of keep going, fill that gap, and maybe Google could actually work its way to all-time highs. It's been such a tough one to trade over the last year, year and a half. So, but yeah, so it's working its way out there. 3 white soldiers, so it could get some follow through on that one. Nvidia just kind of hanging out there. It's basically back to the upward trend line. So a little bit of a doji day. The semis were weak today. So just a little bit of rotation out of the semiconductors. They had a great day yesterday, and Apple wasn't strong today. The semis weren't strong today, but more in kind of like that software tech names today just had just some huge moves. I mean, and then Roku was strong, and a couple other names like some of the web names like Chewy was strong today, intraday. The Peloton with the deal with Roku and all that stuff. So pretty amazing stuff there. But anyway, it's still okay. It's just slightly below its upward trend line, so just be careful with that one. SPCE, thanks for bringing that one up. I did not get a chance to look at this one today. I meant to, and it is just still kind of hanging out here. But this is good. This is actually a good thing. So if we go right here, I really like this doji. I'm really liking this doji. I want to kind of I want to lower a couple of alerts that I had on this one. But this could be a doji sandwich, right? This could be the trigger to get out of this triangle, right? So big candle yesterday to hold the bottom of the triangle, pause day, and let's see if if space really gets a move tomorrow. So definitely something to keep on the radar. I'm going to put that on the long game plan for tomorrow. Let's see, can I keep an eye on that one? So definitely go on to stock going in tomorrow. Great stuff. Thanks, Mike. Yep, my pleasure. Kim, what's going on? I hope you're doing well. Pete's on. I know. Finally got a candle today. How did it end up closing? Yeah, pretty decent. Pretty decent. It actually closed at above its prior all-time high. That's good. A little bit of an upper shadow right there, but good volume. And again, nice news on the Roku stuff today. So let's see if that continue to get some follow through the upside. This is kind of one of those ones that if you're swinging it, you just gotta close your eyes and not look because it does all these crazy upper and lower shadows on it. But it plows its way up. And then Facebook, my goodness, I mean, incredible stuff. I mean, it's not even technically 3 white soldiers, right? Because I think there's an open gap right here, but just incredible bounce off the cloud. Held the 50-day moving average, got above its trend line yesterday, and then just launched it. So I mean, it's basically back up to all-time highs. Really incredible. Amgen, wowza! Look at that! Oh my goodness. Okay, so so here's a nice breakout candle right here, which gave you a pullback to your 50 and then back up again. Wow, look at that move today. Was there did they discover something today? Something amazing? Patent injunction. I guess they got a patent ruling or something. Analysts cheer them, but anyway, huge move on Amgen. That's the fun part about, I guess, playing the biotechs. They can go crazy like that. But anyway, amazing stuff there. Match.com. Whoa, talk about grabbing some stops. Look at the stop hunter today. Goodness gracious, this is on our bullish radar for a potential doji sandwich yesterday. Never broke above those levels, right? And then just nasty, and then kind of came back in the range. So now that it took out all those stops, let's see if it's ready to move again. Wow, crazy stuff on that one. Good stuff. Yeah, my pleasure. Good to see you. ZEK Amazon. I know, all-time highs. Incredible stuff. We're going to just continue to keep an eye on that one, see if it keeps going. It's up a little bit after hours on that one. AMD, kind of pausing right here, gave it a little bit of a, hammer reversal here, forming the trend box lows at the low end of the cloud, held that 49 level really well, and just kind of pausing here today over the ADMA. So let's see if it gets any more follow through tomorrow. We'll definitely be tracking it, but again, the semiconductor is weak today, so we'll see if they maybe try to rotate back in it tomorrow. And then Square, just epic today, guys. A little bit of a let's see if we can get a trend line on this right here from the lows. So we had this guy. Yeah, I love this little compressed pullback right here, and then that move back up. And it just got really tight here at the ADMA and just gave a nice push today on Square. Good stuff. Yeah, one of our members pointed that out this morning, too, at the open. We were trading other stuff at the time, but just a great move on Square. Good stuff. Enki, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Trelly, what's happening? Hope you're doing well. Let's take a look. So we got SPY, again, low volume, narrow range day. So it's like, just so choppy. I mean, it's funny, you see all that strength in those tech names, and you'd think it would just spill over into the S&P, but it really didn't, right? I mean, we had like a lot of weak stuff today. So today ended up being a narrow day. We did fill the gap here on the SPY. It was low volume, right? If you go to the Qs, all-time highs. Amazingly, actually, kind of low volume in this one, but we didn't have a lot of movement like your Apple, things like that. But I mean, Amazon, just incredible move there for the Qs, and Tesla good too. It's actually kind of surprised that there's low volume on the Qs on this one. But yeah, so SPY did its job. It filled the gap, and Qs tagged an all-time high, didn't close at all-time high, so we got kind of that to look at too. And then Roku, yeah. So Roku, incredible move today, guys. That's a big move for Roku. Big candle, right? So it's possible we get some follow through on that one, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see like a pause day or something like that tomorrow. So let's see what they have in store for that going into the going into the holiday. But yeah, big move on Roku today. Definitely took out a bunch of shorts on that for sure. I mean, a lot of these guys, a lot of people have been calling for big shorts right here, but we know better than that because we're still in the trend box, right, on the market. And so, but a lot of folks are trying to short all this stuff like that Facebook, right? That Facebook was just nasty candles, right? That thing was ready to go. And then, everybody's shorting it because they had news on it to be short too. They're losing big time advertisers every day. And it's like, okay, well, the prices, go up a little bit, squeeze out some shorts, and then it just creates like this, this snowball effect to the upside where it just keeps squeezing people out, right? And it just keeps going, and the bulls just jump in, and just adds fuel to the fire. So Roku could be in that, is kind of a weak one. But again, remember this one we talked about was kind of lagging the other NASDAQ names, right? It was down this day when the others were starting to go up, and then it is kind of lagging to the upside. So we talked about that as a possibility. So the inside day up was kind of a cool trigger on that today on Roku. It's pretty neat stuff there. Cool one. What's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's take a look at Zen. So Zen, yeah, nice move right there. I mean, it's kind of hanging out at these levels. Decent relative volume today. Didn't quite close at the at those highs, but it looks like it's still strong. If we can give a push, we can get out of the area right there. And then net. Yep, we looked at this area. Looks like it's trying to get out of the bull flag right here. Well, I just seen a little more volume on it, but again, this pullback, I really love this pullback right here with that low volume. Just beautiful, beautiful stuff on that. So very nice, very nice. Let's see if we can get going on that one. NK, what's going on? Yeah, let's see with Google. The Goog. So again, 3 white soldiers on this one. See if we get some more follow through the upside. A little bit extra volume today on it, but it's really just got to get above this 1475 level on that one. Boeing. How about Boeing, guys? This is, talk about, the ultimate fake out on this candle right here. Right? Big volume, right? Kind of a breakout of, the decline trend line and all that stuff. But what do we know? We know we're still in the trend box, right? So we don't trust it, right? So we don't, unless we're over the trend line, we get, nice candles, right? Or if there's a true breakout going on, right? Then, which, there's no confirmation on this one, and it was a really, really tight range. So, and we're over this kind of heavy cloud right here. So this is kind of an interesting one. It still had a lower shadow off of it too, not a breakout candle like this one, right? We like these kind of more solid body breakout candles right here. See this one right here? We lucked out and got a gap up and then pulled back, right? So just got to be careful. They look bullish, right? Because they got the lower shadows on it, but you still got to be careful with it. So anyway, outside day today. So keep an eye on Boeing. If the market's weak tomorrow, Boeing is definitely going to be on the radar. Let me put that on here. Okay, good. Great stuff. Yeah, nice find on that one. And then Roku, of course, we just did an analysis on that one. But yeah, strong candle right there. A little bit of an upper shadow, but see if we can push. If folks are short, let's see if we can keep squeezing them. So good stuff. Osiris, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah, good man. Really appreciate it. Prayers. Hope you're doing well. Samit, what's going on? Good to see you. Good evening. Thanks for tuning in. SMDC4S. President accounted for. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Bagesh, what's going on? Good evening. NVTA, let's see. Yeah, 19 cents today. It did give a push today, but it left you with that nasty upper shadow today. So it's hanging in there. Good volume, but just don't forget a lot of that volume comes into that upper shadow there. So just be careful with that. BA we just looked at, NVTA we just looked at, and then DKNG. DKNG, right? Little spinning top here off of the this is DKNG is just rough, right? I mean, really, if if we go to if we try to clean the chart up a little bit right here, and just create a clean one, right? We can kind of get a trend line here, right? You can see we started to break down here. You get a trend box on this, just say like this area right here, right? And we've confirmed below it here, right? So we're basically coming back, retesting the trend box here. So just be very, very careful with DKNG. It looks like it's trying to work on a fresh downtrend. So just be careful with that one. It could be interesting. But and again, also the doji here at the 80 MA too, which also correspond with the trend box low on that one. So just be careful there on that one. Paul, good evening. Thanks for tuning in. S Country Kev, what's going on? So was Netflix breakout of triangle in 5 minutes today at 9:55? Let's take a look here. Yeah, a bunch of names were tight this morning from the pre-market. So let's double check here on this. Yeah, I mean really here, right? Inside 15, right? So usually an inside 15 or an inside candle on a lower time frame is going to turn into a triangle, right? So yeah, so that's exactly what you got right here. So that inside 15 was a double inside 5, right, and give you that nice tight triangle right there, right? This one, it was tight, it didn't come back and test it, and ended up giving you a really good volume on this candle here over the 15 orb, give you a little move right there, and then it launched, right? So this is another example, right? If you go to that 2-minute chart, right? So this is in that area right here. If you go to that 2-minute chart, right, and add the add those moving averages back in. Let's add those exponentials back in there. So you get your 5 and your 13 here. Okay, so right here, right in that little pool, look at that scrunch right there, just perfect. Right in that triangle range right there, just crunch, 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 and then you get your breakout candle right here, and then you're good. Stops right here, entries right over here, right? And then your risk reward is like, well, basically phenomenal. You got another scrunch right here for another potential entry, and then here I would have taken a stop, right? So, but let's see. So your risk reward was here. So your risk, is that 3? Is that really 3? Yeah, 3 points right here. This had such a huge day today, and then we get up to that line right there, and that was 18 points. So yeah, so 1 to 6 risk reward on that one, pretty incredible, right? And then it ended up still going, right? But it's but who cares after 16 points, right? So what's 16 points between friends? Anyway, so good stuff right there. So yeah, nice triangle on that one. You can see you could kind of time those entries with those moving averages, and that can be pretty helpful. It's good stuff. What else? Good find. Baggage, yeah. So W day. Let's take a look. W day, real nice right here. I like how it's holding the ADMA. Nice move above these levels right here. Good volume. So let's see if that gets any follow through on that one. Strong day. Take 2. Good candle today. Not a true breakout candle. It's not getting over any major levels. It's kind of stuck in Bermuda Triangle right there. But yeah, lots of strength on these guys. I remember last night, Robin mentioned ATVI. We were talking about triangles, and she's like, there's a triangle on the daily on ATVI, double inside day too. Remember inside candles are usually a triangle on a lower time frame. So anyways, we ended up breaking that out of there nicely. Great momentum move on that one. So, but ATVI is ATVI, so I might come back, test it before trying to move again, right? Anyway, good stuff there. Twilio. Yeah, lots of strength in the software name. Say low volume on this candle, so just be careful with that one. And then Team. I'll take a low volume pullback, but a low volume breakout, I'm going to pass every time. Yeah, so, and then Team, again, nice move out of these levels right here. But again, watch your volume on that one too. So a little bit of a breakout right there, but again, a little bit lower volume. So just careful. So good stuff. Yeah, bullish stuff. Good stuff. Thanks, Bagesh. Appreciate you. The Nest pins. Nice follow through on that pause day yesterday. So I like that. So good move right there. It's kind of got an upper shadow here going up into some some sloppiness, but looking pretty good. DA, what's going on? Yeah, my pleasure. Etsy, the Nest. Let's take a look. Yeah, Etsy again. Nice follow through here off of this big breakout candle. Right, give a nice pause day and then up, and then paused around for a little bit, and then another breakout candle yesterday, and then another follow through today. Just watch the low volume today, as we saw that on a few of the charts. Gary, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. PCG, let's take a look. Yeah, PCG is still looking pretty weak here. Inside day with increased volume. That's always sketchy. So it's gearing up for something. It's building a lot of energy on that inside day. So again, I really like this breakdown candle with volume. I like the pause day. I like the follow through yesterday. And then today it's pausing again. So let's see how that holds here. If this is kind of just like a stop, drop based, ends up being like a drop on that one. So again, still bearish on this PCG, but again, that's a lot of energy in that inside candle. So it could turn into a reversal. So just watch the price action going into tomorrow. It's good stuff there. The Nest, yeah, CGC, yeah, a little, what do we got, a fry pan bottom? Yeah, a little bit, kind of like a little something here. So it's still really, really tight in this range. The pot stocks were strong this morning. So these hit our radar this morning, our sector strength right here. I love how, whoa, I'm not doing Fibonacci's on this one. So, I love how we broke out of this triangle type pattern from yesterday into today. So nice momentum move on the pot stocks, a nice pause here for a move, then peaked again up here, and then kind of worked its way back down. Again, these things just don't, it's going to have, until you get like major, regulation passed where it's like legal everywhere, it's gonna be a little bit tricky on this one. But then from there it might be a little bit even crazier. So we'll go from there. But yeah, it's a little bit of upper shadow right there. It's got some work to do to get out of this geometric line right here. Good, DA. So you noticed for a few minutes before the close, some option prices jump. For example, Nikola 68 to 717 spreads went from 50 cents, 60 cents to 50 to $1, and the price jumped. Why do the market makers do that? The market makers do that because they don't know, especially if there's like low volume on it, and and then some volume starts to come in, especially on something like Nikola. If you go look at the implied volatility on it, right, or the IV, I mean, we're talking like 200%. Right, these market makers have to protect themselves, right? So it makes it really, really tough, and which means it makes it really, really tough for us too to try to gauge our pricing. So that's the hardest part about options, guys. And it just is what it is. It's what we it's the price we pay for not having to pay full price for the stock, right? So it's so you have to deal with that a little bit sometimes, and sometimes names like that, unless you're just catching a major run on a swing trade, you just definitely want to stay out of those on a day trade. And then spreads too, yeah, exactly. So good stuff on that one. Mr. Fishbone, what's going on? Good job on FedEx today. Yeah, so Nicola, let's take a look. This one finally expiring Friday, and huge drop coming. Yeah, exactly. So what this is right. So when stocks go public, right, there's a wait period. Now normally it's like 90 days or so. I mean, maybe it's been 90 days. Goodness gracious. Yeah, 53 days. So normally it's like 90 days, but this is kind of a reverse acquisition. But either way, whatever the rules are with it, they get to this point where the insiders can dump shares. Right, and so sometimes we see that happen. Right, it actually happened with Beyond pretty recently. Well, I mean, it's all like one long day, right? So, it was like way back. Where was it? So it was somewhere like Beyond had this epic run up, and it was somewhere like around here. I think it was like around here. One of these days right here. But anyway, they had their the first day that they could sell, and it had to do with this. The momentum was already down anyway, and so it gave you that great 8 pattern drop. And so they sold on that one, and I think then it got some more follow through to the downside on that. But so you'll see that with these IPOs, right? You'll see them dump it, right? Especially if it's like just a garbage stock. Beyond's hanging in there, right? They're doing business and all that stuff. I mean, they're okay, but it's still tough to trade sometimes. But yeah, so that's what you start to see that a lot with these IPOs. So yeah, so that's it. So it just gives the insiders an opportunity to dump. DA Nikola seems to be dropping out of the triangle. Let's take a look. Yeah, Nikola. Yeah, so keep an eye on this one, guys. So this one is definitely triangulating again here, right? So getting really tight inside day to day again. If they do dump it, right, watch out. This thing could really test this scene of the breakout right here, and there's got a gap down here that it could fill, and another gap down here that it could fill, and a bunch of other gaps down here that they could fill. So let's see how much this company is really worth. Is their CEO as good as clever as Musk, right? Because you get a Tesla. Sometimes it's all about leadership, right? So we'll see that whether the leader's crazy or not, is sometimes gonna be the question. So in your Nikola option code, you meant to write 702, 778. That's fine. Yeah, it's just how they do it with those IVs, especially 702 with this week's expiration, with the volatility as high as it is. Exactly. I mean, that's why it's gonna go crazy like that. Exactly. So KPTI. KPTI, interesting right here. A little bit up after hours here. Again, watch your geometric level here. Yeah, off of this shadow right here. So just kind of watch that so you can get out of the cloud and see where it goes from there. So good there. So when the 5 crosses over to buy, I notice that the opposite is true as well. If you look at the crossover before the drop. Well, right, you want to do it, right? You want to do it on a setup. Right, you don't want to just do it just because it's crossing over, right? Because you'll start to see that these things cross. If you just trade moving averages, your average is going to be about like your trading success on it's going to be about like 50-50 or something like that, right? So you really got to crush it when they work. But if you use it as a guidance for a setup, right, like a 618 pullback on a strong day, or like we said, a pullback to the ADMA on a trending day on the 15-minute time frame, and then back down to the 2. Then you can use it for some guidance on that. And you don't just buy the crossover, right? You still look at your candles. You want to make sure that the stock is buyable, right? So you look for like a strong green candle with increased volume to go for a buy. So that's the idea. Good. Yeah, my pleasure. That's what we like to do. We like to help everybody improve and do better. So good stuff. Nice. Let's take a look at Zoom. This thing is just a monster, isn't it? I mean, just nonsense. It's so funny seeing this thing way up here. I remember trading this thing way back yonder before it got into the cloud. We had some great trades on it back here, some really, really nice moves, and then it just broke down for no reason. It had good earnings. It just kept on going down. It's like, when is this thing going to break out? And it's, it just takes some Rona to do it. So this thing's working up here. I mean, decent volume today, nice move. Possible attempt at all-time highs on that again. So we'll see. Yeah, I mean, little resistance up here. I mean, we had the garlic. We were looking on a crab pattern right here off of this pullback. It's already above the 3618, so at this point, that's it. It's just bullish. I mean, it's not always going to pull back, but that's kind of like the line in the sand area right there. So let's see if it holds and builds from there. And with increased cases of corona, it could be back in play again. So good stuff. Bagesh, now, please. I thought I already answered. I'm just kidding. I know you mean now. So let's see. So now, yeah, another great software, type name right here, cloud type stuff. Just good rotation into that sector today. And nice breakout candle on now here. So we're looking for some more strength going into tomorrow. In fact, I'll go ahead and put it on the bullish radar on that one going into. This is a tricky one to trade, guys. I mean, now should be a good one. But it can get really, really crazy and spready, and the options can jump around. It's a really risky stock to trade. But when it moves, it moves. When it moves, it moves. So good stuff. So Rob, what's going on? The two averages that I put on there was your 5 and the 13 exponential moving average. 5 and the 13. They're both Fibonacci numbers. Both Fibonacci numbers. Because 5, right, your Fibonacci's, you just add the last two. 5 plus 8, those are both Fibonacci numbers. 5 plus 8 is 13. So 5 and 13. So it's a pretty cool combo to use. So Rob, yeah, so Amgen, yeah, so huge move on Amgen today. So apparently got a good analyst comment on it today. So just be careful with that one. It might get a pause day on that. It might consolidate up there, but a really, really big candle on that one. Nice break on that one. And then Netflix, incredible. Just incredible move. But again, this is not the time to go crazy on it, right? The time to really have considered it was the pullback to the 50 EMA right here, right? And it was on low volume too. And then you can get into your lower time frames to look for your setups on your on your crossovers there. So yeah, so good stuff here. So in this one, we're going to wait, right? We're going to see what it does. Maybe it'll bull flag for us here to see if that's really, truly strong. It might give us a pause day, like a nice pause day up here, and then, give maybe a doji sandwich move. But just be careful holding it over the 3-day weekend. The next, what's going on? SBAC, let's take a look. Yeah, nice push over the cloud there, low volume. Just be careful with that one. Codex. Tough one on this one, but this one could give a move, right? It's just one of those ones you never know when these things are going to spike today. GOL. Hey, they're a bit of an upper shadow, some volume there, but still holding on the ADMA. Sarab, yeah, spot. Again, this one's pulling back, right? So it's putting a bull flag here, a couple inside days, huge moves, right? So this is now like are they loading up on it for another move up, right? So we definitely haven't broken down any major trend lines or anything like that yet. Right, so we're just kind of watching and waiting. It got parabolic here for a little bit. I mean, if we got a nasty candle here with some big volume, right, we might look to try to short it. But we'll see how it goes. It looks like it's consolidating a little bit up there. Gary, yeah, BA, yeah, bearish engulfing candle today. Well, not bearish engulfing, but an outside candle today. Not a lot of volume on it. We're kind of stuck in Bermuda Triangle right here between these two trend lines. Thomas, what's going on? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Say like Caterpillar. Let's see. So Cat, nice gap up today. It got back over its upward trend line right here, and then it just couldn't hold on to it today and pulled back today. Again, the Dow was weak today, guys. The Dow was weak. Well, they're up 33 points right now, but the Dow was relatively weak today. It was red candle day. I mean, it was all about the Nasdaq today. It was all about the Nasdaq. Yeah, upgrade. Yeah, it got a nice gap up and then kind of pulled back after that. I know, just it's tough to trade the Dow names during this crazy market, right? They're almost like a little bit more in touch with reality, but these tech names are just launching. Good stuff there. And the Texas Instruments, this is a tough one to trade. We actually liked it at the open. I think, what was it, yesterday? Yeah, when the semis were strong. Texas Instruments actually cued us into a great AMD trade yesterday, right? So we had. One of our members mentioned Texas Instruments because they like the strength and the volume. And I was like, wait a second, these semis are all strong today. So we got into a much more tradable name. Just no option activity on it, right? So it makes it really tough. But inside day today, so see how that holds. It might just be a little rotation out of the semis here today. So good stuff. Paul, yeah, so doji sandwich too, nice. Yeah, so let's keep an eye on that one. And Roku is a 4-hour doji setup. I like it. So let's go. So you got Roku right here. Nice pause right there. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. Yeah, a little bit of a pause candle right there on the 4-hour. So let's see if that goes. Give us another move up. I like it. Good, fantastic find. Hey, Johnny, what's going on? ZS, let's take a look. ZS, yeah, a little lower shadow here off the ADMA. So we looked at this a little bit earlier, giving a push up right here. Maybe it's working on a little bit of a just wait, see if we can get a geo break on it. Watch your volume on that. Not a lot of strength on that one today. Venkata, what's going on? T4. All right, so so a little bit weak right here on the transport. So again, as go the transports, so goes the Dow, but the Dow's not really weak. The techs are still strong right there. So just be careful with that one right there. But decent move on that one, guys. Take a look at the XLF real quick. That had a rough day today, guys. So this is just be careful with that. The financials aren't really participating in the Nasdaq rally. So something to look at there. Art apps, what's going on? Good to see you. Royal, what's going on? Good to see you too. Disney, gap up today. So why not? Why not show a little bit of strength when they're not opening their parks or making movies or really doing any business? So, but it's hanging on to the ADMA here with a nasty upper shadow. So just be careful with that one there. So it gave a little bit of a rally and then a big pullback. DAQLGN. Yeah, crazy candle on that one there. Big move up and then a sharp pullback to the ADMA. Just be careful with these type of names. Sumeet, PFE. Yeah, White Elephant move this. I know it finally gapped up today on Cure potential and all that stuff. And the CEO has been pumping it recently. It had a huge move up today, and then just kind of ended up pulling back a little bit, kind of chopping around. Watch out, that's a nasty candle. That's a pullback candle right there. Just be careful with it. Yep, cybersecurity players. Yep, PFPT. Yeah, nice move right there. Not a lot of volume on that one. FireEye. Also a nice candle. Not a lot of volume on that one. Cisco had a great candle the other day, right? It's still kind of hanging in there. So good strong candle and just just some choppy action after that one. So you can kind of give a little bit of move off of that one. Then ping. Decent move there, a little bit better volume than the other ones, right? So this is one we were talking about. Remember we said on this big breakout candle right here, let's look for a pullback and see if it moves back up. Well, here's your pullback and it's working its way back up right here. So ping's looking pretty interesting right there. I like the move on that one. Yeah, I'm gonna add that to the radar there. Let's see. Cool. Yeah, I like that pull. Let's see if we get any follow through on that one. DA, yeah, exactly. Gary, yeah, my pleasure. DA, a lot of energy behind the candle on PCG. There is. It's just gearing up in there. I mean, that's a huge volume on an inside candle. Yeah, exactly. Good. Okay, cool. Yeah, you want to look for that strength on that next candle, right? And then and then you see where your stops are, and then you just keep your fingers crossed that the 5 stays over the 13 as long as possible. And then when it gets real scrunchy like that too, it makes you nervous because it looks like it's crossing over. You're like, oh, I'm gonna get out. I don't want to do it anymore. You know how it goes. So just gotta be patient. Be in the zone, or don't look at it. Good. Sumeet, yeah. So snap, decent move right there. Upper shadow. Just careful with that one. BLNK. Yeah, so nasty pullback off of that red reversal candle yesterday. That reversal. These ones are so wild, aren't they? And then it moved back down there. Kind of green candles. It might do something like what Nikola did. Right, just be careful there. See if it kind of gives you a triangle, whatever the case is on that one. And then SRNE. Stable Natural Resources. Not popping up here though, but looks pretty interesting. Yeah, Venkata, yeah, T4. I think we looked at that one already. So just watch the, looks like it's forming like a geometric line. So look for some signal on a breakout on that one. Gary, yeah. So Beyond. Yeah, that's all good. So Beyond here, yeah, gapped up today on the China news and then kind of pulled back, right? So just blah. Unless you're making software, they don't care. They didn't care today. So good stuff. Or making a deal with Peloton. Yeah, my pleasure, Jay. What's going on? You missed the whole show. Well, that's why we record it, so you can go check the next one. You can go check the recording. So good. Yeah, cool one. Yeah. So ping. Again, I like it. I'm putting it on the bullish radar going in tomorrow. So let's see if we can go. DA, yeah, XLRE with a grind. Little grinding move right there. Yeah, real estate though. I mean, it had good. They had good new home sales, so I like the follow through on that one today, and a good move back up there. Good stuff. So cool one. You like TNDM? TNDM. Yeah. So possible pause day today on this one. It could be interesting. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's a pause candle, right? So yeah, it's tough to get more volume than a big candle like this. So this could be a pause, right? It could be a little doji sandwich move type thing. So good. Johnny, yeah, mRNA. Hanging in there, it's still holding on to the 50-day, right? We had a nice little candle right here. Oh, this is A, B, C. I mean, it could kind of work. This could B triangle, then C work its way down. Let's see, it's holding the 50, so let's see if it continues to hold. But right now, nothing really too exciting about it. Yeah, my pleasure, Johnny. Cisco's dividends week. Yep, so watch out for ex-dividend. SRNE. Sorrento, nice. Maybe I typed in the wrong thing, but yeah. Yeah, bounce off the 50-day right there, so see if that holds. A little tricky. Jay, what's going on? So you actually cut the show just in time. Awesome, good stuff. SHLL. Yeah, so we looked at this one right here. A little bit pullback from yesterday, right? So these ones that give these big moves, these crazy parabolic moves up. Once you get a red candle on it, it's almost like a just like a perfect shorting opportunity. FMCI. Big move there. Again, this one's hanging in there a little bit better than the other ones. So, a little bit of kind of a triangle type move right here. So see how that holds, and it's getting tight in there with a inside doji candle. DA Venkata with the SPACs. Nice. Johnny, my pleasure. DA, yeah, smash the like button. We always appreciate it. Venkata, my pleasure. All right, guys. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in this evening. It was a good discussion tonight. Awesome discussion this week. I think today is pretty good one. It's some good tools I think you can walk away with and do some back testing on it to see if it fits your trading style. Great chart request tonight. Really appreciate it. So again, guys, we're not going to be live tomorrow because the market is closed on Friday, and we'll see where we go from there. I think we looked at shelving, didn't we already take a look at that one? The pullback on that. Yeah, so we'll see if we can get more follow through on that one. I would like to have seen more volume on it, but we'll see where we go from there. Anka ZI. Yeah, kind of pulling off of the inside there below volume, so just be careful with that one. And then APT. Again, I wouldn't be surprised to see a move on this one. A lot of states are moving to mask ordinances, so it's definitely one to keep on some potential news moves. So something to see there. But good stuff, guys. So I hope everybody has a great rest of your evening. We will catch you guys Sunday night. We'll also be, we're open during the market tomorrow, so we'll see you guys in the morning updates and all that stuff on YouTube. So if you're new here, definitely click subscribe on YouTube and hit the notification button. Also be sure to check the links in the description. You can see our Twitter page in there, and you can follow us on Twitter. We do some cool chart updates and give a lot of cool information on there. And then our website's on there too, so you can check out all the cool stuff that we have to offer. So I hope everybody has a great rest of your evening. Thanks to you, everybody, for tuning in. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game.